Right then, all welcome to the channel. We are here live on the F1 Fan Zone for what is going to be a qualifying shootout for the sprint shootout, if that makes sense. Now, some of you might be tuning in thinking, oh, hang on a minute, it was supposed to have started a few minutes ago, but there is a delayed start, and I will explain just in a minute. But we will have the live timings, we will have live graphics, and all the usual bits we have on the F1 Fan Zone. So stay tuned for that. Now, the reason why there was a delay, let's turn the volume down on this here. The reason why there was a delay to the start of the sprint shootouts qualifying is purely for the fact that they have made some changes to the layout of the track. Late changes, and by that they haven't actually changed physically the layout of the track, but turns 12 and 13, I think it's 12. It's either 11 or 12 or 12 and 13 have basically they've removed track limits. So basically anywhere on the track through qualifying yesterday, for those who watched it yesterday evening, if all four wheels went beyond the white line that goes around the curbs on the outside of the track, your lap time was deleted. As the McLarens found out several times over, Lando Norris didn't get a registered time despite going second because four wheels went off the track. They have decided to change these rules for turn 12 and 13. So there are no track limits there. And the reason why is because of the way the curbs are, is that the FIA and Pirelli are concerned about the potential of punctures and so on. And as a result, they've also changed the rules so that tomorrow during the race, you have to make a minimum of 3 pit stops. It's the first time I can remember where enforced pit stops or enforced minimum number of pit stops will take place. So there is a delay to the shootout for the sprint race later on this afternoon because of the teams have been given about 10 minutes to go and learn the track again, knowing that turns 12 and 13, the track limits have been removed. So that is why there's a delayed start. So I've got, as soon as we've got live timings and so on, I will bring the graphic up. At the moment, I'll show you what the graphic is like at the moment. All quite on track. It's not, I've got the sky coverage as well. The cars are going around, but they are basically doing practice laps and just getting a feel for 12 and 13. So as soon as the graphics, as soon as qualifying, or as soon as the sprint shootout, keep calling it qualifying, as soon as sprint shootout starts, we will obviously be live with the graphics, with the timings, and obviously you guys will all be able to see. Now we are live today we're live on Facebook, we are live on YouTube, we are live on Twitch, and we are live on X as well. So, and for those who watch the show regularly, the last race, Japan, you'll notice there was no live stream. I did put an update. I don't know how many of you guys saw it, but I was actually away in Portugal, enjoying a bit of sunshine and whatnot. So I watched the race from Portugal, but I wasn't able to stream because I wasn't at home with a home studio and so on. So that's why there was no stream on the previous race in Japan. But there's another thing to note for those who are watching my last live stream during the race in Singapore. Will notice that we were probably about 2/3 of the way through the stream cut off. And the reason why, I've had a bit of a dispute with YouTube and with F1. So, in terms of copyright, the audio, as far as I'm aware, on the F1 channels that I use, the where I get my graphics and so on from, there's an option for me to have the live commentary. That live commentary is subject to copyright. However, in the last race, I was using BBC commentary with the F1 graphics, and the Formula One complained to YouTube and had that video struck off, claiming copyright over commentary that wasn't theirs. And I had to get some things cleared up because they shouldn't have claimed copyright on audio that isn't actually theirs. So I'm hoping that's all sorted and we shouldn't have any more problems in that respect. But to be on the safe side at the moment, I'm not going to provide audio from any website. I'm just simply going to show the graphics and go through myself. I've also, apart from seeing the graphics that you see, I also have Verstappen. So Verstappen has just gone off, and this is obviously practice. What's going on there? That is so. I can see the Sky Sports coverage as well. That didn't look good from Verstappen, I must admit. So just to confirm, the reason why we have a slight delay to the start of the sprint shootout is because teams have been given 10 minutes of doing some practice laps just so they can familiarize themselves with the fact that there are now no restrictions in turns 12 and 13. And as soon as we've got the driver tracker up, I'll be able to show you where turns 12 and 13 are. But yeah, so just to confirm, for those who watched the qualifying yesterday as well, the qualifying yesterday was for the actual race tomorrow. What we've got now is a sprint shootout, and this will form the grid for the sprint race later on today. It's about 6 p.m. UK time, 7 p.m. in Central European time. So we are just waiting now. The cars are just entering back into the pits where I'm just going to refresh. We'll just refresh soft. We know that. Okay, leaderboards. Okay, we'll wait until we'll keep going until the graphic is live. Now, obviously, as always, if you want to comment, if you want to let me know who you think is going to qualify on pole, will Max Verstappen win the qualifying for the shootout on pole? Will Max Verstappen could win the World Championship today. In at 6 p.m. when we have 6 p.m. UK time when we have the shootout. So it could be Max Verstappen starts tomorrow's race, which he's starting on pole as world champion. Technically, 3 times world champion, although I'm sure many people will dispute the first one. But nevertheless, Max Verstappen could be crowned world champion today. So we'll see how that goes. He's going to be favourites for the shootout as well, no doubt. But I was very impressed with McLaren's yesterday. Very, very impressed with McLaren's. I know they finished 10th from 6th in qualifying, but Norris was 2 tenths off Verstappen before his lap time got deleted. Now, I know he exceeded track limits, but the way in which he exceeded track limits probably hindered him. He probably lost a 10th. So actually, it could have been really nip and tuck had he just kept the car, all 4 wheels on the track. And it shows how good that McLaren is on the downforce that McLaren has got. It's a terrific car, Also, what I'd like to know what people's thoughts are with Sergio Perez and Lance Stroll. There's been 2 drivers who are under enormous pressure at the moment. And Lance Stroll, is he going to have a seat next season at Aston Martin? Do Aston Martin need another partner to Alonso who's going to be a bit more competitive? Because I think we could all safely say that Lance Stroll hasn't really provided any competition for Alonso this season. And also with Sergio Perez, it goes from bad to worse with Perez. He's in a car that is so much quicker than everyone else, and he's struggling to get through qualifying sessions. And I can't help but think that mentally, perhaps he's no longer there now. Do you know what I mean? You know, when when you're changing job, you've handed in your notice in one job, you're looking for a start, and mentally now you're no longer there. You've already left. And I just wonder whether Sergio Perez has actually mentally, whether or not he's already left, that he's already resigned to the fact that he's not going to race there next season and so on. Do you know what I mean? I do wonder. I find it bizarre. Let's just give this a refresh. We still haven't started yet, but we are due to get away any moment now. Still waiting. Right, they'll be starting any minute now. Any minute they'll be going. I can see on the Sky coverage that they're all now in the pits ready to go. For those who are just joining, and I can see we've got some late people joining on. The reason when there was a delay, this was due to start at 2:00. The reason the shootout has been delayed is purely for the fact that they've removed the limits, the track limits on turns 12 and 13, and as a result, they've given drivers 10 minutes of practice to learn the layout, because obviously they've all been programmed in that, any corner, four wheels go over the white lines and sit your time's deleted, as McLaren found out the hard way yesterday. So they've given drivers an extra 10 minutes just to get to grips with the fact that 12 and 13, they can use the curbs there. They can, the track limits there have been removed. So we are just waiting now. The Sky F1 coverage is coming back on. And as soon as we got the leaderboards up, as soon as the timing starts, here is the place to keep up to date. And we're just waiting. And if you do any comments, they are posted below here. Let me know your thoughts. And as always, if you are watching on YouTube, feel free to subscribe to the channel, click that like button, all the normal stuff. And also we are live on Facebook on our Formula One page, the F1 Fan Zone. If you want to follow us there, that is always appreciated. We'll also be live tomorrow for the race as well, which I'm looking forward to. And we're just waiting now, just keeping an eye on the Sky coverage to see what's going on. I can see a Qatar Airways plane flying over. Right, so let's see where we're going with this. Right, so this is basically the same qualifying as you get for a race. It's just simply laying up the grid for this afternoon's shootout. So they'll say I think it's a 19-lap shootout later today. And good to see some good to see some comments on X. Right, so we're still waiting. It was actually later than I thought. I thought we'd be underway by 2:15 UK time. And as soon as we have got it going, this is where the times will be. The times actually, the timings. So when the timings come, they're actually ahead. If you're watching this or watching live timings here, and you've got some sort of coverage on Sky or anything like that, and you're watching, you'll probably find that the timings here are slightly quicker than what you see on the TV. There's a delay from the TV coverage to the coverage I've got here of about 20 to 30 seconds. So bear that in mind. I can see the cars are drivers are in the cars. As soon as the green light goes, I'm keeping my eye out for Lando Norris. I hope he can do something like he done yesterday. He was amazingly unfortunate. He was 2 tenths off Verstappen on his quickest time before the time got deleted. And although he exceeded track limits, exceeding track limits in the way and the manner he did probably cost him time. So he didn't get 2 tenths off Verstappen because he broke the track limits. He was probably could have been closer had he not broken track limits. So very unfortunate. And because of the way the curbs are this year, Lewis Hamilton actually described these curbs as punishing, and he doesn't agree with the track limits because you don't gain an advantage from breaking track limits because of the curbs. The curbs are good. They don't give you they don't give you advantage by breaking track limits. Yeah, Lando was annoyed yesterday, and I don't blame him. You know, this is where perhaps it's almost uncharted territory for Lando Norris. I don't know what you guys think, but Lando Norris is challenging for the front. He's got a car now that has given him an opportunity to challenge for the front. And he's had 2 opportunities to bang in a quick lap in a car that is arguably one of the quickest. and both on both occasions he exceeded track limits and didn't get a registered time. Right, we've got drivers out on track now, so I'm just wondering why my live timing hasn't yet. So we have got drivers on track. I don't know why we're getting. Let's just refresh. Uh, 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 uh. There's no live set. I don't know why we're not getting. Be honest. The live timings here. We should be, as we normally do. Why are we not getting any? So we've got commentary there. That's. I don't. I don't know why we're not getting any. So, here we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Right. If at first you don't succeed and all that, driver tracker. Here we go. Obviously, a little bit delayed at the moment. Right, come on. Sort of self. No. Well, why are we not getting? This is frustrating to say the least. So Formula One have obviously got a issue with their stuff at the moment. There we go. Right, fine. We finally got some live timings. We'll bring the driver tracker up so you can see where on a track, who's on a track, where they are. As you can see, there we go. That's what we needed. Hooray! Right, so Russell first fast at the moment. This is obviously they're all medium tyres. That is by design. Everyone has to use medium tyres in this session. And now, okay, right. At least we got something now. Right. Okay. Right. So let's have a look at the live timing. So Russell, followed by Gasly, followed by Norris. This is I'm not expecting any miracles here. It's really I find qualifying now Q3. I tend to find not at any sort of conditions. If it's a bit wet and there's touch and go, whether some of the big names might drop out, but we'll keep an eye. We'll keep an eye on. I want to keep an eye on Perez. I want to keep an eye on Stroll, and I want to keep an eye on Sainz. All three drivers that had bad sessions yesterday. Perez is in the pit already. He pits from fifth. Verstappen's gone fastest. Let's bring up the leaderboard so we can see how the gaps are going. Fastest in sector 1 and sector 3, Verstappen. 8 tenths behind Russell is. It's just. There we go. Right. So Let's bring up the live. Let's bring up drive tracker. What do you guys prefer? Do you prefer the tracker during the qualifying? I guess in qualifying it's not such a big deal as the race, but perhaps in qualifying the just the leaderboard and the sector times might be better. I can't see who's on a flying lap at this stage. It looks like we've still got quite a few to come out. Sargent all the way down there, about plus 40. So Sargent and Hulkenberg obviously on outlaps. Magnussen. Oh, Sainz goes fourth. Still, the lap on tyres that are 4 laps old, nearly a second off Verstappen. Nearly a second off. Okay. We're already getting lap times deleted. So this was the problem yesterday in qualifying. The times go up and then they get deleted. Lap times were getting deleted a lot yesterday, as the McLarens knew. There we go. Look, Norris and Piastri, the McLarens. These are the two I expect to give. Only a 10th off there. Only a 10th off is Norris. Let's have a look at Norris's times there. If we can see what he's on the tracker. If we can get Norris fastest sector 1 and fastest in sector 3. So keep an eye out. But again, keep an eye out for Norris and Oscar Piastri. They could be second and third on the grid. That's well, it's good. But Mercedes, by the way, have been much better here. Much better. I know they're no way near challenging for race wins, Mercedes, but they are better here. I think the Ferraris haven't been quite as strong here. Oh, here we're watching Norris. Let's take that off there. There we go. Okay. So we've got, just looking at the numbers so far, we've got quite a few watching on Facebook and on Twitch, actually. If you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to click that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. All the normal stuff that we say every week or every race. Right, let's see what times. I don't know if to change the. Lando Norris has put on the radio is asking whether or not he's safe with his time. He's a 10th off Verstappen. He's 2 seconds quicker than, or nearly 2 seconds quicker than Lawson, who currently occupies 18th. There's a 2-minute warning. Just had a 2-minute warning. Oh, Hamilton's had his lap time deleted. Hamilton's had his lap time deleted. As I said yesterday, as I said what was going on yesterday, drivers were getting lap times deleted left, right, and centre. 12 and 13, remember, turns 12 and 13, there are no track limits. Everywhere else, every other turn now, track limits. That means you've got the white line, as you can, that sort of on the outside of the track. The car, all 4 wheels cannot cross. You can cross 2 wheels, you can cross 2.5 wheels, but you can't cross all 4 wheels across the line. Just looking at a replay on Sky of Gasly, and that's where he's lost. He's very easily done around there. Yeah. On the curbs. Ooh. If you get that, yeah. Turns 5 yesterday were the ones where people were having some issues, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 around here, which is exactly where Ocon is. If I put my mouse there, turn 5 here is where teams were losing or drivers were losing lap time because of the track limits. Just in Charles Leclerc on that exact corner. Just there. And I've just heard a radio message saying wind into turn 5. So just as I was saying about that, get a radio message saying about turn 5. So that is where drivers need to be mindful. Right. So as it stands, yeah, Hamilton. Where was Hamilton? 12. So we are okay. Russell goes fastest, 125 forward. Let's see if that time sticks. Because what am I saying? It was actually so. Um, it was almost like it was a weird qualifying session in that you see a time come up and you know I saw Norris pop in a second. You think yes, well done, Lando, but it's like football now with VAR. You know, you see someone who runs in on goal, they score a goal, and you want to celebrate, but you're waiting to see the VAR intervention. And it was a bit like that yesterday. You couldn't really celebrate, or you couldn't, you know, drivers I don't think could really celebrate and know because they're just all waiting to see whether or not their lap time would stand or not. Some of it was really push, really sort of nip and tuck. Norris and Verstappen have pitted. They obviously believe they're safe. So it's good lap from George Russell, 124 or 125.4. So who's at risk? Both the Williams, Joe and you with the Alpha. Lance Stroll, I said at the start of this session, Lance Stroll, keep an eye on Stroll. He's only gone 17th. Only gone 17th. Alonso's up in 6th. Magnussen is going to struggle as well. Sargent and Alex Albon as well. Hulkenberg pits, so he must obviously feel he's safe. There we go. I think that is that. I think, yeah, Magnussen pits. So there is your bottom 5 at least. Lance Stroll is not going to qualify, nor is Alex Albon. I don't think so. I don't think he's on a hot lap, Alex Albon. Is he on a hot lap? No, I don't think he is. So Alonso is going to come to the pits. You can just about see on the bottom of the screen, Alonso, he's nipped off into the pits. Yeah. Yeah. Right, so there is Q1 sorted, or shootout 1, should we say? They're not the same same time and sessions, so to speak. Oh, that's see Lance Stroll's just gone off. Just seeing a replay of Lance Stroll, and he's gone off well wide. And Alex Albon, turn 5, yeah. Turn 5. Both both Alex Albon and Lance Stroll, turn 5. I told you that was a hard. There's wind there, and it was the turn that most drivers were getting their laps times deleted for yesterday for exceeding track limits. So there's that is shootout 1 sorted out. Then confirmed. Stroll, Albon, Tsunoda, Magnussen, and Sargent. So Joe and you, so both the Alphas got through. Tsunoda got his Tsunoda had his lap time deleted. That's why he didn't qualify. A couple of drivers, including Tsunoda, who are just here, are moaning about. Just looking at the replay, yeah, that's where he's complaining about traffic. But I can see where Tsunoda goes just exceeded track limits, and this is, yeah, cool. I mean, it's talking half a foot across the white lines, but you go across the white lines anywhere on a track except 12 and 13. Right, so now we wait for session 2, and session 2 is going to be interesting because look at some of the cars that haven't really, you know, you got Hamilton in 12, Leclerc in 11, Perez in 9th, and of course in qualifying yesterday, both Sainz and Perez went out in Q2. So this will be an interesting to see who gets through here. So we're just going to wait now until the start of the Shootout 2. We've got our bottom 5. Now we're going to find out who the next 5 will go out, and we'll be left with a final 10 for the main shootout, if you like. This is all for qualifying for today's shootout. A couple of comments. What's up, man? Anne-Marie. Hi, Anne-Marie. I hope you're doing all right. By the way, I was lurking around, came across your stream. Maybe I can help you out with your Twitch custom graphics and even more. What was your Discord? I sent my over there. I don't, Anne-Marie, I don't actually have a Discord. Just because I don't have the time to manage it, frankly. So literally, I mean, I get on a weekend with like this when it's Formula One. It's I wasn't actually even going to stream this session. It just so happens that things that I was doing during the day, with family and so on, just so happened that I had time to set myself, because when I set up a stream, it's not just a case of turning your computer on and and so on. You've got to set up a few things and so on. It takes about 35 minutes to set up if I want to do it properly, to do a stream. And so I just don't have the time for things like Discord, frankly, to manage it and whatnot. It's just not for me, unfortunately. But I appreciate your comments, though. But we go now. So we got adverts on Sky. Okay, so we are now going to see who can qualify. It's all about making sure you're in that final 10 for qualifying now. And this, as I was just saying earlier, this qualifying session, a shootout, is for the race at 6 p.m. I will be live for that as well. For those who want to follow and watch, we are live on YouTube, we're live on Facebook, we are live on Twitch, and we are live on X, on Twitter. Twitter. I don't know. I can't find. I'm trying to get into the habit of saying X, but I still say Twitter sometimes, if that makes sense. I just can't quite. Okay, so there we go. We've got Russell back out on track now. So session 2, shootout 2, I must call it. Shootout 2 has now started, and you can see Russell, Hamilton, Sainz have now taken to the track. Let's see what sort of times they got. And I just want to familiarise myself with the times yesterday to give us a rough idea on what sort of times to expect today. I know the qualifying was slightly later in the day, but let's have a look. Okay. So the fastest time yesterday was a 1:23.7, which was Verstappen. Everyone else was basically in the 120 into the very low 124. So that should give you a rough idea of what times would be a quick time. If we see anyone getting the low 124s in the session, for example, that should be a good time. Although they're going again on a medium, so we're on a different compound. They're on mediums at the moment. Right. Let's see. So Russell will be the first to start his flying lap. Norris, currently out on track, will be the last to start the flying lap until Liam Lawson came out. So here comes Hamilton down the pit straight, starts his flying lap. Let's have a look at see if we can get some graphics on it. So here comes Lewis Hamilton down the pit straight into turn 1 and turn 2. Russell was the first, wasn't he, to go across the line, across the. Let's have a look at sectors. So Russell gets a purple sector 1, as we expect, because no one set a time yet in sector 1. Norris has gone fastest first in BS1. Let's see how they get on when they start crossing the lines. We know Russell is going to be the first. Let's look at the times that they get. So here comes Russell rounds towards the last bend. Let's see what times we said. A 124, low 124 was what they were qualifying on yesterday. If they were in the mid 124s on a medium tyre, I would say that would be a good time. So Russell goes with a 126.2. Fastest time so far, but it's the only time so far. Where does Hamilton go? 126 flat. So it's quite a big difference from yesterday, isn't it? Quite a big difference from yesterday. Maybe the medium tyres are not as quick as we thought. Where does Sainz go? Sainz is 2.5 seconds, 128. Perez goes with a 125.8. Needed a good lap to Perez. Who else we got? Leclerc next to drop to cross the line, I think. Leclerc will go to currently P2. 126.1. So you can see the difference. They're quite a bit slower than yesterday. There goes Piastri at 25.6. Mighty lap. Where does Verstappen go? 125.1 by Verstappen. See, we're moving down the times now, as I said, into getting to the 124s. Hulkenberg is going to come across. It goes quicker than Mercedes of Russell, 126 flat. Where does Norris go? Fastest of all, 124.9. We said the McLarens could be quick there. They're currently P1 and P3, and they're miles ahead of the Mercedes and the Ferraris. Absolutely miles ahead. McLarens have got a quick car around these sort of fast, bendy tracks. Wow. Wow, what a time there. On medium compounds, by the way. On medium compounds. Who have we got next across the line? Zhou Wanyu. I don't expect the Alphas to get through here, I'll be honest, but where's he going to go? He goes P11. Hamilton needs something. Ocon goes through. Oh, these must be on outlaps because that's a considerably slower outlap. Hamilton, look, only P9. Only P9. Oh, mind you, he's 28 seconds, so he must be doing another warm-up lap because he's 28 seconds off the lead. Who else? So we still got quite a few that needs to set times. Alonso needs to set a time. Perez pits. Perez pits. What about Sainz will pit? I would have thought. Nope, Sainz is not pitting. Sainz is going on. What a lap by Norris, though. What a lap by Norris. So so they're on medium tyres, so they can do more than one quick lap. So I suspect some of these are fueled for sort of 3 or 4 laps. We'll do an out lap and then a quick lap and then a cool down lap and then another quick lap. Some of these drivers, not all, but some of them. Hulkenberg, their pit. So does Norris. So Norris is pit. So I'm guessing Oscar Piastri must be on another quick lap then. And let's see where Russell does. Is Russell pitting or is he carrying on? No, he's carrying on. So Russell goes 3rd fastest. So if Russell was on a fast lap, Ocon goes 5th fastest. Hamilton needs a quick lap here. Only P7 for Lewis Hamilton. Only P7. Remember, it's the fastest 10 that qualified to the final shootout. The fastest 10. We will lose 5 drivers in this session. Where does Alonso go? Into P7 himself. So Hamilton's now in P8. So this is a touch and go for Hamilton. He's going to need another lap. Lawson goes excuse me, P12. Both Ferraris are struggling though. Where can Leclerc go? Leclerc up to 3rd. Up to 3rd, Leclerc. But I would expect the track to evolve, so it should get quicker. Where does Oscar go? Piastri goes 3rd fastest now. 1/2 tenth off his teammate Norris, who's in the pit along with Verstappen. I think that Norris and Verstappen probably are quite comfortable to sit there and say, "Oh, we've done our bit. We're not going to fall out of the top 10." So they may save their tyres. Bear in mind, we have been told for tomorrow's race, and it's an unusual thing, but because of the way the tyres and the curbs and Pirelli and the FIA have looked at the tyres from yesterday, and they've determined that every team needs to stop 3 times during the race tomorrow. But we'll cover all that tomorrow. But obviously, just before the race when we go live. And Bottas, where can Bottas go? We just had a 2-minute warning. Bottas, only P14. Actually, there's no time set there. So Sainz again, though, struggling, isn't he? Sainz went out in Q3 and in Q2 yesterday. Is Hamilton on a hot lap? He must be on a hot lap. He's just gone flying past Russell. He must be on a hot lap, Hamilton. Because he needs one. He needs a quick lap. And Hamilton will go. So it's 155. So he was obviously on a cool down lap and now he's on a hot lap. So is Russell, I think, as well. Gasly must be going on to a hot lap now. And Alonso. Anyone who's not out on track, I don't think at this stage is coming back out on track. But we could have a really good battle between Norris and Verstappen potentially later, or in Q3, or Shootout 3, as I should call it. So Sainz goes. So Sainz is starting a hot lap here, and so is Piastri. Looking at the times, 155 and 150, or 205. So, and Leclerc. So we're getting a lot of drivers that are just starting hot laps now. Perez. Okay, Bottas has gone P11. So that will be Bottas out. He won't get back round to do another lap, I don't think. Hulkenberg goes over in okay, so Hulkenberg's just starting his flying lap. Here comes Zhou Guanyu. It's now the drivers are starting to finish their faster laps and their last flying laps. Zhou Guanyu, you're currently 15th. Where are you going? 12, and he is out. Push your Sainz down to 15th, though. Although Sainz is on a hot lap. Ocon goes 4 fastest. Hamilton, only 6. Only 6. He is not safe. Where does Russell go? P2, 125 flat. Where does Gasly go to? Gasly goes into P8. Alonso, can you get in front of Hamilton? He's currently P10th. Yes, he can. He goes P4. Liam Lawson, P13. Where can you get to? Up to P11. It's not quick enough for Q3, but it's a good lap there from Liam Lawson. Here comes Carlos Sainz. He needs a quick lap. And he's done it. P5 for Carlos Sainz. Here comes Charles Leclerc, company in P8. Can he move up the timesheets? Hamilton is currently going out. Perez, where's Perez going to do? Perez currently 10th. Perez goes 3rd fastest. That should be him through. Oscar Piastri is pitting. And Hulkenberg, who's currently P13, goes P9. So he is currently going through. But it looks like Hamilton is going to be going out. So the Mercedes of Hamilton has struggled in this qualifying session. Wow. Bottas pits. So they're wow. Hamilton is out. So all our hopes now with Norris, Lando Norris. Lewis Hamilton is out of the second shootout 2. So our top 10, by the looks of things, are Norris, followed by Russell, followed by Perez, Verstappen, Alonso, Leclerc, Sainz, Oscar Piastri, Hulkenberg, and Ocon. That is your top 10 by the looks of things. Barring any changes to the times as we saw yesterday, this is a provisional because we did see yesterday lap times were getting deleted. So that is an extraordinary Hamilton down in P12. This is for the shootout that takes place tonight, 6 p.m. UK time. Live here on the F1 Fan Zone. And that is it's going to be an interesting battle with up the front. I'm looking forward to seeing what Norris can do. 124.9 on medium tyres. The fastest lap yesterday was a 123.7, the fastest lap. in qualifying for the main race. But they were obviously on brand new set of soft tyres, not 3-4 lap old medium tyres. So we'll see how that goes. So there'll be a few minutes now before we go into session 3. I'm going to quickly grab a drink. So I will be back in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail, as they say. Right, we are back. Right, ready for the shootout, the final shootout, to determine the top 10 for the shootout this evening. The shootout is 19 laps, so it's like a fraction of the normal race, and there are points up for grabs as well. So the idea for those who are new to Formula One is the shootouts are supposed to sort of add a bit more fun rather than sort of loads of practice sessions. On a normal Formula One weekend, you have sort of 3 practice sessions, then qualifying, then the race. And the idea with a weekend like this is we had a practice session yesterday afternoon, and then yesterday evening we had qualifying for the main race, and then today we've got a shootout to determine the grid for a sprint race later on today, if that makes sense. So I hope I haven't confused the issue there. So that's where we are at with it. We are down to the last 10. Couple of shocks to be wary of. Lewis Hamilton going out in the second shootout, which has come as a surprise. The Mercedes have been relatively quick here this weekend. Actually, on for tomorrow's grids, Lewis Hamilton is towards the front of the grid. So for the race tomorrow from qualifying. So very surprised to see Lewis Hamilton, who's obviously struggled today to go out. Right, and the drivers are just taken out to the track now with Verstappen and Sainz. Looks like they're the first 2. They're all on soft tyres now. The quickest time we saw yesterday was Verstappen with the pole time was a 1:23.7. The second quickest time was a 1:24.1, I think it was, or 1:24.2. So a low 1:24 is what we're expecting to see. If anyone gets into the very low 1:24s, that would be relatively a competitive time, or relatively competitive time, if I could speak. But one of the things we also saw, Lando Norris was without doubt Lando Norris topped the second session here, And Lando Norris was arguably the biggest competitor to Max Verstappen yesterday. However, because of track limits, Lando Norris had his lap time that was only 2 tenths off Verstappen deleted, and arguably the exceeding track limits didn't give him a boost. Actually hindered his lap time, so he may have possibly pushed for pole had it not been for that. So hopefully we'll see a good battle at the front with Lando Norris today. So I'll be interested to see whether or not they haven't come out yet, the McLarens or the Mercedes of Russell. So Verstappen has now started his first flying lap, and Sainz will be the second to start the flying lap, followed by Leclerc, followed by Perez as it stands. Okay, so Sainz has gone across, started his flying lap. Leclerc, no one else is out the pitch yet, so I'm going to assume that they're only going for a single run, perhaps saving tyres. We do know that cars need to save their tyres for tomorrow. There's going to be 3 pit stops. There comes Oscar Piastri, just leaving the pits now, just as Leclerc starts his flying lap. It's Verstappen. No, it's Verstappen. So Perez has gone past Verstappen. As Verstappen abandons his flying lap, I wonder. Because Verstappen was the first out, without doubt. Here comes Norris. So Perez will set the first time. Let's keep an eye on what time this is. Like I said, anything into the low 124s is competitive on these soft tyres. And Perez goes a one. Oh, so that was an out lap because that's 6 minutes and 46 seconds. Oh dear. Oh no, Verstappen is, yeah. So Verstappen is that's right. I'm getting confused lap. Here comes Verstappen. This is the first flying lap. What does Verstappen get? What time does he get? A 1:24.5. It is hard. It's about 8 tenths slower than what it was yesterday. That could be obviously track conditions, different conditions. It is earlier in the day than qualifying yesterday. Here comes Sainz. Sainz goes with a 1:26.9, 2.5 seconds slow. So I've got to assume that he's had an issue there. That's a long way off Verstappen, 2.5 seconds. And that's on soft tyres. Leclerc doesn't look like he's pushing very hard at all. So Leclerc's. So did Leclerc abandon his lap then? Leclerc goes, I say 1:43. So he's obviously. Oh, Verstappen's had his lap time deleted. Verstappen has had his lap time deleted. He's exceeded track limit somewhere. Where does so Norris and Piastri are just starting their flying laps. So Perez goes with 1:25.3. It's a slow time. It's not. It's Norris got a 1:24.9 with a harder compound medium. So that's not a great time by Perez unless track conditions have dramatically changed. But I would expect them to get quicker, not slower. So here comes. Verstappen's had his time deleted. Interestingly, I'm not sure when we're going to see Russell, Alonso, and Hulkenberg. Now, is Verstappen going to come into the pits? Has he got time to come into the pits and get a change? Yeah, he should have. Should have enough time to come in the pits and change for a new set if he's going to. Team radio. What turn have I said that everyone needs to be wary of? I've said it all day. Turn 5. Guess what turn Verstappen exceeded track limits on? Turn 5. So Verstappen's going to have to start a new flying lap. I wonder how much fuel he's got in his car. Leclerc goes with a 1:25.1. Piastri goes with a 1:24.5. That's more like it. Where does Norris go? Norris goes with a 1:24.5 also. That is more like it. That's how much quicker the McLarens are than the likes of the Ferraris and so on. This is what I mean. The McLarens have got a bloody quick car. A bloody quick car. I can't wait to see what the McLarens do next year. I really can't. They have got that car to a chip. They know what they're doing with it. They know the car. Right, who are we looking for next then? Because we've got everyone now is out on track. Verstappen still needs to set a time because obviously his lap time. There's the 2-minute warning. So Perez has done a slow lap there. It's a 2-minute lap. So I'm presuming he's just starting a flying lap now. Here comes Russell, who was, I believe, he's on an out lap. So I think Russell must be, yes, Russell is starting his flying lap now. And Ocon starting his flying lap. This is going to be very interesting now because Verstappen's going to have one lap set time. If it's assuming he doesn't, exceed track limits again. Right, so it's Verstappen starting his flying lap, or see what's his time here? So it's a 1:51. So he was on a call. He's been on a couple of cool down laps. So he's obviously going again. But look how old his laps are now. They're 4 laps old. Hulkenberg just crosses. So here comes Leclerc. Leclerc needs a time. He hasn't set a time yet. Leclerc goes 1:58. So he's also set. Some of these drivers, so no Piastri's on a slow down lap. Is he going to go again? Carlos Sainz. Okay, so this is going to be an interesting end here. An interesting end. Alonso hasn't yet set a time. Here comes Russell. Russell goes P3 with a 1:24.8. Perez 1:25.3. So Perez and Russell that's it. They are now done for their qualifying. Where does Ocon go? Ocon goes P5. Verstappen's obviously on his hot lap, and Hulkenberg. Verstappen will be the next across the line. Where does he go? He's not yet got a time set because he had a time deleted. Where does Perez? Well, Verstappen goes only P3. Only P3. Verstappen is not going to be on pole. Only P3. Where does Hulkenberg go? Up to P5. What a lap from Hulkenberg. Here comes Leclerc. And Leclerc goes P5. Piastri, where can he go? Can he take pole from his teammate? A 1:24.4 from Oscar Piastri to take pole. Provisionally, here comes Sainz. Where does Sainz go? Only P5. Lando Norris, can you take pole from your teammates? No, he can't. It is Oscar Piastri on pole, barring something miraculous from Alonso, who goes P5. Wow. McLaren's 1-2. McLaren's 1 and 2. Piastri and Norris. My goodness me. My goodness me. This is all obviously subject to change. We may see times deleted for track limits. Wow, McLaren 1-2 as it stands, barring any track any changes with track limits been exceeded. Wow. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is that. Oh, Lando Norris went wide on the last turn, by the way. He was on a flyer. Wow, McLaren 1-2. Oh, what an unbelievable car they've got. Unbelievable car they've got. Well, that is unbelievable. A 1-2. Oh, my goodness me. My goodness me. Well, so that is. And that is that. So Piastri, followed by Norris, followed by Verstappen, followed by Russell, followed by Alonso, then Sainz, Leclerc, Hulkenberg, Perez, and Ocon make up your top 10 for the shootout this evening, 6 p.m. UK time. Follow me here on the F1 Fan Zone for that. Follow us on X, follow us on YouTube, follow us on Facebook, follow us on we're on lots of platforms. Twitch is another one as well. If you're watching on any of those, don't forget to click that thumbs up. Don't forget to click that like button. I will put a link to our YouTube channel for those who want to follow us on YouTube. It is a little bit easier. And let's put a link in for you guys in the chat if you want to follow us on YouTube. Here we go. For those who are watching on a platform where you can see the chat, I've just posted a link to our YouTube channel. That's the best place to watch because obviously being subscribed and clicking the notification bell, you can actually see when we go live. You obviously get the notifications. So we'll also be back for the stream for the sprint shootout tonight or sprint tonight, and also we'll be back tomorrow for the race as well. So join us for those. It's going to be, I think, a really good, really interesting race. I think the track should suit to some good overtaking as well. So I'll see you this evening, 6 p.m. UK time, 7 p.m. Central European time for those who are watching across Europe. And as always, enjoy whatever you're doing for the rest of the day. I'm going to chill out and watch some football, as you do. And I will see you all again a bit later on in a couple of hours.